Bear with me, guys. I'm just finalizing a few things on my end, but I figured I'd get everything started here. All right, there we go. Seem to be good. All right, so hopefully you guys can hear me and everything's coming through okay. Just waiting for everything to come through on my end here. I'm just updating everything, but we should be good. All right, perfect. So, hope everybody's doing well. Can everybody hear me okay? Because I'm doing this very different than what I've done in the past. I'm always trying new things when I do these live sort of tests and all that stuff. So, can everybody hear me? What's going on, Jeff? What's going on, Jen Master B? Biggie, what's going on, guys? So, yeah, I know you guys can see I'm kind of in OBS at the moment, but I'm going to jump over. I just want to make sure that the audio is coming through. I was having some issues with it, but the audio output capture was giving me problems. But, yeah, here is the drive over here. And there we go. Everything's updating there. So, volume's good and everything. You hear me? Cool. Sweet. Paul, what do you need help with? So I'm going to jump into the chat through my laptop here because, of course, I'm not signed in. There we go. Yeah, so this is a 12 terabyte drive that I actually just got in yesterday. And I wanted to test it out, and I actually did some recordings on it earlier. Everything works really great on here, but because I was having audio issues, it wasn't recording properly. So that's why I'm trying to do this tonight, and figured I'd bring you guys into the mix here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into a handful of games here just to test out how everything works a little bit more. And when I do the actual captures of the screen, I'm going to just kind of remove myself. So I'll just go over to OBS and take myself out of here and mute myself just so I can actually pull the, the captures and all that good stuff. So let me see. I'm just jumping into the chat here. Getting no shooting or action from my controller in many of my games. Okay. The audio skips in every game from what's your setup? So do you have like a game drive or what are you using? And what you said it could be a mapping issue with your controller. It could be a lot of things actually. Yeah, I'd have to kind of know a little bit more about your setup. Gaming computer 19, i9 processor. Are you using like Batocera, or what are you using? Are you emulating games? Are you playing modern day games? What are you diving into? 64 gigabyte RAM. Yeah, I mean, so it seems like it's a powerful computer for sure. Okay. Is it a wired controller? 2.4 G, like I just got this one I'm actually doing a video on right here. This is a Retro Fighters, kind of like it's called the Retro Fighters Hunter. It's like a original Xbox. Atari, MAME, all of them. No. You know what, Paul? Send me an email on my website. I have like a contact page. Just give me the info over there, and I will, I'll try to give you a hand with that. Alfred, so this drive, I'm actually going to see if I can grab it here. I've got everything I got a million wires as always. I think I got enough leeway to do this without unplugging everything. All right, so this is what we've got going on here. This is the drive. Will this show it? That's as far as I can go. Let me see if it goes in camera here. So this is a external 12 terabyte hard drive right here, and you can barely see it. There we go. So this has 292 AAA titles on here. We're going to get into it, but it's got a cooling fan in here, connects via USB 3 connection. It's got its own power supply cable, which I have plugged in right here. So, again, tons of cables. All right, so let's do this. So this is the setup right here. This uses Play Night, and you can go in through desktop windowed mode or full screen. And one has background music. I chose to use the one that doesn't just for the sake of this, so I'm not competing over something else here. But these are all the titles on the left-hand side, and we can go into, what is this? Is this one? It's one of these that I'm not super familiar with Play Night. One of these up here like outlines everything. I think it was that one. That just changes the view. I don't want that. Yeah, I forget what it is. It's one of these up here that gives you like the total count. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so 392. Is that how many games are on here? Yeah, 392. So a lot of games, but let's jump through the list here. So as you click on each title, it populates in on the right-hand side of the screen, and we can scroll down. We can see the photo for it. We can get all the information from it. So it's very similar to like Launchbox. I think that's probably the best comparison, Launchbox. And it gives you all the information on the title. And if we scroll all the way down here, why is it giving me trouble today? There we go. If we scroll all the way down, you can actually, there's play right there. All right. So if we go through, let's see, each of the titles here. So we have a lot of titles that I'm not familiar with up at the top, but it's alphabetical order. So like right here, Aliens, Fireteam Elite, awesome game. I recently played this game. If we go into like Ancient Gods, we can get information on that. So everything's laid out, in this sort of format here. And it's interesting, you guys are seeing it better than I am on my screen, probably because I'm on this massive TV and I didn't do the settings properly. But Ark Survival Evolved, we've got Arma Reforger, Ask Dusk Falls, a bunch of Assassin's Creed games. This one here is Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Origins, Syndicate. This guy right here, what's that, Valhalla? This game right here, I have actually on my PC, and I can't jump into it because I've actually set this up already for my racing wheel, which, because I'm zoomed in, you can't see it behind me, but I've been having the worst time with this company, with this racing wheel and pedal combo. And I actually, so not to get off track, but they contacted me to do a review of their wheel, and it's Camus is the company. So hopefully they're not going to get pissed off at me mentioning all this, but they sent me a wheel, and I found that it was hard to get working with other pedals. So I got their pedal set, and they sent me this three, it's a clutch, the gas or throttle, and brake. And it's really awesome. It looks really high quality, but the brake doesn't work. So I went back and forth with them a bunch of times, and they sent me, I said I needed a new cable replacement because there was a cable that was, I don't have it. Actually, I do have it here. Take a look at this. This actually had a sleeve on it, and I just peeled it back last night because I was getting really pissed off. But this is how it came, like that. It was at this weird angle. Actually, it was like this and then like this right here. So that was the way that it was. Like two bends in it. And I was like, that just looks weird. So the way that they spliced this together, they actually cut it right here. So two of the four wires are actually split. So I figured that was what was going on with it. It doesn't work. And I've been going back and forth with them. So they sent me these cable replacements. Do I have them here? They're probably on my other desk. They're the wrong cable connections. And this goes into, I don't even know what this thing is called here, but it goes into that. So now we're back to square one, trying to figure out how I'm going to get a brake pedal to work. So anyways, can't jump into this game because I have it configured to the racing wheel, but this is an awesome game. So sorry I got off the topic there, but had to rant a little bit. Let's see. Just reading the live chat as we go here. Yeah, so everything's using Windows here. Play Night uses Windows, so I've got Windows 11 on here. Technopara on the drive. No, so these are just AAA titles. This is like basically, all these titles are everything, I think, through like PS4, if I'm not mistaken. I think some of these titles are available on PS5, but I don't think it's the PS5 like version. Clearly, it's PC versions of all these titles, but yeah. Let's see. Yeah, all Windows games. Sorry to not clarify that before. Yeah, so this isn't, there's a bunch of 12 terabyte setups out there on Amazon. I don't believe this exact one is on Amazon just yet. So this one only has AAA titles. So there's, what did I say, 392 games? 392 games. They're all AAA games. So we're going to go through and see exactly what there is. So we've got Baldur's Gate 3. We've got Batman Arkham Knight, which I believe is what, like at least 10 years old now? What's the release date on this? So 9 years old. 6/23/2015. Awesome game, though. We've got Beach Invasion 1944, Battletoads here. We've got Beholder 1 and 2. I'm not familiar with those. Biomutant's a cool one. Kind of tough to get working right, though. I will say it's very demanding on your PC. Some of these games are going to be easy to run on your average, like higher end mini PC. Some of them you're going to need a full-fledged, gaming PC for, which is what I'm using today. Even with this PC though, I've had to go into like the settings of Biomutant and make adjustments there. Blade Assault, Blair Witch. There's a lot of stuff I don't know, like Brotato. I know a lot of people love this game. I've yet to actually test it out. We've got the Bum Simulator, so I mean, that looks interesting to say the least. Scroll down. You lost everything, ended up on the streets. What will you do? Adapt and survive? Take revenge on those responsible? Become an urban legend? Yeah, I never got into the simulators, although the hunting simulator on here is pretty sweet. I tested that out recently. Not on this drive, but on a different one. We've got some Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, which version? Campaign Remastered. We've got the original Modern Warfare Remastered as well. So this is what I mean by AAA titles. And these aren't, what's the date on this? So 8 years on this one. How about this one here? When they're remastered, it kind of throws me off. 2020. So this is, obviously the original version was much older than that, but 2020 for the latest release, or the latest remastered version. We've got Capcom Fighting Collection. We've got Chernobylite, Chicken Police. Somebody recommended this to me. I tried to play it on the last drive that I played and or tested out. Not my type of game, but for those that are into that, you gotta have some patience. It's, I don't know, it's hard to explain. I mean, look at the image here. Just a lot going on. What else? We've got Conan Exiles. Looks interesting. What if we click more? Does it give us... Oh, it just gives us... All right. I don't want to mess around too much here. Throw off my stream. But Crisis 1 and 2, Crisis Remastered Trilogy, Cult of the Lamb, Cuphead, Cyberpunk 2077. If you want to play that, there you go. This one I'm not familiar with, but I was looking at the cover art, and it looks pretty interesting. So, lots of stuff here. And I'm going to dive into the live chat with you guys here. Is Batocera better than using Windows as the OS for emulation? No, it depends what you're into. Yeah, I mean, looking at it performance-wise, no. But I like Batocera a lot. I like going into it with a separate drive, if that makes sense. So I don't have to go through Windows to emulate. I can just boot directly into an external drive or a drive installed internally, and it's totally separate from Windows. I like that. And I like that especially for like modding arcade 1-ups and stuff like that. I just think that it's kind of a cool setup. Batocera is solid, but just not as good. Yeah, so Broke Daddy Gamer's on point there. Yeah, it's personal preference. Like I'm an advocate for Batocera. I love it personally, but if you're looking at it from that performance standpoint, no, it's definitely not better than anything Windows-based. Let's see, how many PC games total? 392. I've been thinking of buying one of these. I'm not sure about that with Switch. Do you leave your PC online when you play these? I should have mentioned, I know where you're going with that. So I scanned the hell out of this for the, viruses and malware and all that stuff. And I didn't get anything, but I've never gotten any malware or viruses on any of these drives that I've gotten, but I've heard so many people that do get them. So I'm online currently because I'm streaming this, but yeah, I mean, I definitely comb through these and I look for those issues because if I find, viruses or anything, that's obviously going to be the first thing that I shout out. So I scanned this multiple times. Nothing came back sketchy. I've scanned my PC since using this because I've had this now for about 2 days. So I just have to keep telling people scan everything that you get because just because I don't have an issue doesn't mean you won't have an issue, doesn't mean that you're not at risk. If you're at risk for anything. I mean, I just did a video tonight. My video was about hackers and how somebody was trying to hack into my YouTube channel. So yeah, scan the shit out of everything. Protect yourself at all costs. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, this one I actually picked up myself, but a lot of the drives I do get sent to me. A lot of people want me to review their stuff, but it would be a terrible idea for anybody to put malware or viruses on a YouTuber's stuff because obviously we're going to comb through everything. If we find it, we're going to shout that out right away. So I'm well aware that the majority of people, developing drives that could be doing something shady aren't going to do something shady to the people reviewing it. It's just common sense there. So, yeah, scan your drives. This one, though, I bought as a consumer, so they shouldn't know who I am unless they've got me like pinged as a YouTuber on their end. And if anything goes out to this guy, make sure it's not, loaded with malware. You just never know. Yeah, well, that's true, Gen Master B. So for me, I don't have anything on this PC that I think would do that. But everything's offline on here in terms of like the games. Like there's obviously an online side to these games, but you wouldn't go in. I mean, you shouldn't even try to go in that way. I don't know that they would actually work that way. I don't think you could play online with these titles. At least the ones that I jump into, I'm just going into like the offline campaign mode anyways. So, yeah. Let me just make sure I don't miss anybody here. And if I miss you guys know the deal. Just hit me up again with, with your question again. Broke Daddy Gamer. Yeah, very, very true. So I'm online today, obviously, because I'm streaming this. But, yeah, I would recommend staying offline with it just to be safe, obviously. But, yeah, I mean, we're at risk for just about anything these days. So you have to just be careful and, use common sense as much as possible. But it is easy to overlook things. I will say that. I mean, I almost overlooked everything yesterday when I was dealing with that email. All right, so moving on. You can see everything on here currently. I'm going to keep it moving. Doom Eternal, Double Dragon Gaiden, Double Dragon Trilogy, Drift 21. And I'll try to click on these as I go. Dying Light 2, Stay Human. Dynasty Warriors, which are pretty sweet bunch of games there. Elden Ring's on here. Empire of Sin, which I've been meaning to actually check out. I like that era of games. I'm not really sure what this is all about. Strategy game, so yeah, an idiot like me probably not going to excel at that title, but yeah, it does look pretty cool. What else do we have on here? So, Euro Truck Simulator, Endless Memories, Evil West, The Evil Within 2, Fist Forged in Shadow Torch, which is a pretty cool game. I've only tested that out briefly, but still cool. So now Far Cry 5, Far Cry 6, Far Cry Primal on here. I mean, if you're looking at this from a value standpoint, so this sells for, what's the price on this? I think it's $200 and something dollars, right around $200. This, I mean, not to say that obviously this is controversial. There's a lot of games on here, and modern day games for the most part. They're a few years old, but they're still what I would call modern day games. If you're looking at it from a value standpoint, I mean, $200, and you look at Far Cry 5, 6, 7, Primal, and a handful of others, you are well past $200 if you're, going out and grabbing these. So, not condoning this, but just pointing it out. Farming Simulator 22, Fast and Furious Crossroads. We've got Final Fantasy. Wow, a lot of Final Fantasies here. The images are, off there, but all good. They do populate in properly everywhere else. Flippin' Cactus, which I've heard good things about. I've never tried that one myself. It actually looks pretty cool there, graphically. Looks pretty sweet. What's the description on that? Flippin' Cactus is a brutal action-driven vendetta featuring a spiky hero with thorny past and rage outbreaks combat style. When the vicious Calaveras drug cartel raids his home, so we got a drug cartel cactus. Sweet. He breaks bad in a hardcore journey to save his foster family, reveal the dark side of the wacky 80s punk, and flip switch to obliterate anyone in his path. All right. I mean, that sounds like the most random storyline ever, but I'm game for it. I got to try that one out. We got Forza Horizon 4, Forza Horizon 5. Love Forza games. I'm a massive fan of that franchise. What else? God of War over here. Gotham Knights is over here. Got a bunch of GTA games. Grand Theft Auto 5, Grand Theft Auto 3, San Andreas, Vice City, all definitive editions, I believe, right? Yeah, all definitive editions except for 5, of course. We've got Grim Dawns in here, Grime, Guilty Gear, Hades. What's that? Not familiar with that one. All right, we've got the latest Halo title. We've got Halo, the Master Chief Collection. So this is pretty sweet because this is all of the games up to, I believe, 5. I could be wrong there. I'm trying to think because I have this on my Xbox. I feel like I got that in 2015. on my Xbox One. It's still on my Xbox account, but I think I want to say it's the first 4 games, but then you also can get like side story games too on there. So yeah, that potentially has like 6 games, something like that, built into it. So that's pretty sweet. Heavy Rain, Hitman 2, and these are when was this one released? 2016. So this one would be like 2020 because it's the redone version. Oh, 2018. All right. Hollow Knight, Hunting Simulator 2, which I tested out on the last drive and this is actually made by the people that did the last drive that I tested out, that 3 terabyte one. Hot Wheels Unleashed. So you're going to see, this is basically a continuation of that. I think all of the titles from that one are on here, but this is obviously just much broader. So let me do a couple more, then I'm going to jump into the live chat with you guys. Jurassic World Evolution 2, Just Cause 4, Killing Floor 2, King Arthur's Knight's Tale, Kingdom Come Deliverance. We've got a Kingdom Hearts 3 in here. It's been a long time since I've played those. I've been meaning to dive into one of those because I haven't played Kingdom Hearts since like PS2 days. Lego Star Wars, The Skywalker Saga, which is a great one. We've got Limbo, Little Nightmares, which I love. I was just playing Little Nightmares 2 the other day. The 3rd one's coming out soon. Lucius 1, 2, and 3. Mafia. Love these games. I remember when the first one came out for original Xbox. I had that, and I played that through I don't know how many times. So we've got the Mafia 2 Definitive Edition and 3. I wish we had the original, but I feel like they did the original one last, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong with that, but at least I played the definitive edition of that last. So, yeah, lots of stuff here. And let me jump into the live chat with you guys. I know I've been combing through this and neglecting you guys over here. So, Paul F., thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Yeah, send me that message, and I'll be sure to help you out. I really appreciate you doing that there. All right, so I don't want to get too far behind here. Paul, you have the 100,000 game drive. Okay, so you got the one with like the retro stuff too. That's cool. Yeah, this one doesn't have anything retro on here. They're, putting all into the AAA titles, which, yes, are the most controversial ones, but is what it is. My Botacera build has 18 terabytes of storage. Wow, that is a massive setup. I actually have some big drives here that I've been meaning to like extend my Botacera setup with, but because currently I have a bunch of different drives that I just have like all separate, and now it's getting to the point where it's like it's a pain to know what's on which one now, just because I haven't gone through there and combined them all or anything like that yet. Toasty Topics, the 12 terabyte you did a review on, I got it and it had 20 viruses. 20 viruses. Well, they must have saved them all for you. That's the Kinhank, I assume, because I don't think I've done. This is a 12 terabyte right here, but this one isn't Kinhank. Yeah, I've heard a lot from. Did you buy it from Amazon or did you buy it from AliExpress? Just curious. And that's what I've been telling everybody, scan your stuff, because just because I didn't receive viruses doesn't mean that somebody else won't. So I'm sorry to hear that you found all those on there. What did you do with it? Did you send it back? Did you remove those and proceed? Like, what was your, what was your approach to that? Just curious. Yeah, well, it's funny. And this is something that I've been kind of thinking about myself lately. So obviously, King Hank did send me that drive. This one I picked up myself. The last one I picked up myself, and I haven't heard anybody say that the last one they had any issues with. So I don't know what the deal is. Is Kinhank sending, their best stuff to the content creators so we give a good review and then send in the rest of you guys, stuff with stuff on there? I mean, some stuff does get picked up as viruses that aren't truly viruses. Yes, I will, for Joe's comment there. Yes, there is stuff like that. Even on stuff like game drives from people that aren't, overseas, because that seems to be like the big thing. Like if it's coming from China, if that's its origin, then you're probably going to have viruses and stuff. Not necessarily. Sometimes, like even Chris Coolmod stuff, I think that there's, one of the drives where something came back, but it wasn't a virus. It just got picked up as like potentially, something as a potential threat. It wasn't truly a virus. I forget the specifics of it, but we talked about it actually in, I think it was when I had Retro Ralph on. We talked about that, and it wasn't specifically him, but it was that same sort of scenario. I'd like to upgrade my server for that. Only one. Oh, well, that's a lot of space free. You could do a lot with that. Yes, the Skulls playlist, there's a lot of false positives because, so for me, I'm not even getting the false positives here. So, and I'm scanning with I have a couple different computers here. Actually, I have like 4 different computers that I use. I'm using the most powerful one for this stream right now, but I do scan it on multiple devices. So over here I have, what do I use on this PC? I always blank on the name. I don't have it. I don't want to throw the stream off here, but yeah, I use multiple, detectors, and everything always comes back clean on my end for these. They do work though, because I have had stuff not come back clean, but I don't end up reviewing stuff like that. Which mini PC is better for emulation, B-Link or GMK Tech, or are they the same? B-Link is always my go-to. I've had just a phenomenal experience with them. So I would say they're more reliable than GMK Tech, but GMK Tech is good too. It just depends on the model you're going with. How much for the drive right here? It's $200. Yeah. And currently it's not on Amazon. It's only on AliExpress. I think it just came out very recently. I ordered this, when was it? Like 2 weeks ago? A week ago? Came really quick. But, yeah, it took, I think it took 6 days to get here, which is pretty quick for AliExpress. Sometimes it could take 6 weeks. Sorry, just reading, guys. Toasty topics. If you remove them, the only thing that I would wonder is if you got false positives. And I'm not saying that you did. I don't know exactly what you got. But if you did, if you remove some stuff, it could be stuff that is making some of the games work. So you may end up with a situation where now half of your games, and this is all theoretical, but you could end up in a situation where your games don't work. It just depends. What you could do is, I suppose you could extract the files and stuff and kind of put together your own sort of thing, but you likely got this for the plug and play aspect of it. So if you lose that, then is it worth it still? It's one of those situations. Retro Man, what's going on? I love my B-Link. I'm looking for new game drive, preloaded though. Yeah, do you have a B-Link, one of those B-Link plug-and plays, or do you have a B-Link, just straight up mini PC? Just curious. Vader Gamer 77. Thank you so much for the support. Just the Android box, gotcha. Yeah, if you go with, I've been trying to urge people to go with like the mini PCs because it's more legwork to like get stuff up and running. But if you get a mini PC that's, even if it's like a $350 mini PC, and you go and you just get a game drive, or you most importantly, if you can put your own together, you're going to have a better experience. You're going to have more of what you're interested in, but you're going to get so much better performance because all these plug and plays, there's some great ones out there. They're very limited. Like, I'm yet to see one that is just really high end and able to go into. There was one a while back, and they were just using a Elite desk to, put it together. That was what they were just putting their own drive basically into an Elite desk, and that was pretty sweet. But that they only lasted like a couple months, and just kind of fell off the face of the earth. So, yeah, if you can find something that is a little bit more high end, then it's good. But all the plug and plays for the most part will get you to like PSP, Dreamcast, and 64. Usually what they're using in an effort to keep their costs down just doesn't get you beyond that. So that's the downside to it. Toasty topics. I appreciate that. And I appreciate that you're not holding me, in negative regards because of the viruses that you received. I try to do things, I try to review things for what the experience is for me. That's why I've been saying a lot lately, scan everything, because, you just never know as a content creator too. Are people kind of manipulating us in that they're sending us the best version of what they get, and then everybody else is kind of getting, a mess. So it's unfortunate that we just never know what's going on. And with my latest video talking about like the hackers and stuff like that, it's clear that we're just in a weird time where everybody seems to be out to get us in some way. And I hate to be, that way and think that way, but I mean, that seems to be the way that it is. So, all right, let's jump through some more titles here, because as you can see here on our little bar, we're only halfway through this. So we've got Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite here. We've got Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, Spider-Man Remastered, Miles Morales here, which is only a couple. What was that like? I feel like that came out during COVID. 11/12/2020. So that's fairly recent. Mass Effect. I suppose doesn't that make you think that like the last 4 years have just gone by? Because 2020 was 4 years ago now. It doesn't feel like, sometimes it feels like it's 10 years ago. Sometimes it feels like it was yesterday. Mega Man Zero, ZX Legacy Collection, Metal Dogs, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. We've got Monster Hunter World, Monument Valley 1 and 2, MotoGP 22. What else? Got a bunch of good stuff here. NBA 2K 20, 21, 22, and 23 all in here. So those are, I mean, if you're into sports games, I mean, those are all good titles. So what else? And I'm sure that 25 is I haven't played one of these games since 22. Yeah, the one with him on the cover. So I don't even know do they have 25 out yet, or are they still on 24? So we're not that far behind though. When was this one released? This was released in 22. Okay. So we're a couple years behind. Neon Abyss is here. We've got No More Heroes 3. And some of these titles I know nothing about. Like this one's familiar to me from seeing it a lot and hearing people talk about it, but I've never played it. There's a lot of stuff here I haven't played. Police Shootout. I feel like I tried to play this game recently. Yeah, I don't remember. Maybe I thought about playing it. If you want to get your power washing going, you got the Power Wash Simulator. That seems like a winner right there. What is the description on this? Or they don't even have a description. No description on this one. Yeah, I mean, I guess you're just power washing. Maybe it's a power wash. Maybe you're like a business that power washes. I don't know. That seems like a dud to me. Not going to lie. Project Cars 2, Project Cars 3. Although I used to say that about the Lego games, and then I finally played one, and they're pretty cool. Prototype 2 is a good one. Ready or Not. Red Dead Redemption 2. You can't go wrong with that. I mean, that's a game that's super expensive to buy still. And it's, I mean, how old is that now? 4 or 5 years old? Wow, 2018. Obviously stuck in a past year. Red Out 2. We've got Resident Evil. A lot of Resident Evil. We've got Resident Evil 0 here. Resident Evil 2, 3, 5 before 4. However that makes sense. Maybe because they capitalized it. I don't know why that would populate in ahead of it. But Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Resident Evil Revelations 2. Resident Evil Village. Wow. The list goes on. So that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 titles of Resident Evil games. So if you're a Resident Evil fan, I mean, this has your back 100% here. Ride 4. We've got RimWorld, The Rise of Tomb Raider. I think there's another Tomb Raider game in here too, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know that one. This is a good one right here. Old school Neo Geo sort of feel to those for sure. Yeah, there we go. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and that's the Ultimate Edition. Shadow Warrior 1, 2, and 3. She Sees Red. Sheltered 2. Here we go. That's a good one. Sniper Elite 3, Sniper Elite V2 Remastered. I actually have both of these games. They're awesome games. If you're into sniper titles, these are pretty sweet. Sniper Ghost Warrior 3. Never played this, but I'm going to have to check that out. Go behind enemy lines with the ultimate modern military shooter. Sounds good. All right, so we are about 3/4 of the way through this, and we've got, what else? Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2, so another one. Sonic Forces is here. Soul Calibur 6 is here. Speed Brawl, Spellforce 3 Fallen God, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, It's a good title. Battlefront 2. I almost went right by that one. What else? Street Fighter 5. Streets of Rage 4. Good stuff here. I mean, lots of great titles. Tekken 7's in here. Tennis World Tour 2, which despite what everybody says about me loving tennis games, I don't like this one. I have played it. I'm not a fan. I like my virtual tennis. Virtua Tennis, sorry. Terminator Resistance. This one's a few years old, right? 2019. I don't think I ever played this one. Have to check that out, though. I definitely like Terminator and like the Terminator games as well. So we've got the Dark Pictures Anthology, bunch of those. I've never played those. I don't even know what they are, to be perfectly honest, but they must be decent. There's 4 of them here. The King of Fighters 2002, The House of Da Vinci 2, The Last of Us Part 1. Wow. I mean, it's just like never ends here. Sims 4. So now we're getting to a lot of titles that I don't know anything about. Titanfall 2, I know. Some Tom Clancy titles. Ghost Recon. Splinter Cell Blacklist. Wow. I mean, lots of stuff. Vampire Survivors is pretty cool. Untitled Goose Game. No idea what that is. What's this all about? It's a lovely morning in the village, and you are a horrible goose. Done with that one. Wolfenstein. Here we go. I'm going to play a goose game. What the hell is going on here? The Witcher 3, I almost ran right by that. Wolfenstein The New Order. Wolfenstein Youngblood. World War Z. WRC 8. Love that game. Terrible at it, but I love it. Wreckfest, WWE 2K Battlegrounds, which I recently played. That's a good one. We've got Yakuza 6, The Song of Life. Yakuza Kiwami? Yeah. Kiwami. I think I'm saying that right. 1 and 2. Yakuza Like a Dragon. So, yeah, a lot of Yakuza games, and I do like those. I've only played a handful, but definitely a lot of stuff here. All right, so that's the entire list here. Let me dive in. I've been neglecting you guys again in the live chat here, and 77 watching. Not bad for a pop-up live stream with no notice. I'll take it. Appreciate you guys. Red Dead Redemption 2 is on Epic Games, on sale for $20 all the time. All right, so that's not bad, $20. Still haven't picked it up yet. Yeah, it's a good game. I have it somewhere. I think it's an older. That come out? Was that on Xbox One? No, would have been after that. Yeah, let's see. Just diving in here. Sorry, guys, reading a little bit behind you guys. So I'm gonna. If you guys ask me any questions, just ask them again because I'm not gonna go all the way back up from where I resumed. I'll be behind you guys for 20 minutes. Terminator was a good game. Reviews, nah. Don't look at the. Yeah, you know what? I don't look at reviews anymore because they're just all over the place. Like, and I'm not into like as many mainstream games as I think most people are. Like, I like obscure titles or like weird titles. Like that's why something like this is awesome for me because I don't worry about like what's popular. I just I'll look at the descriptions. Like, I'm not going to play this mess right here. Although anytime I talk shit about a game, it usually turns out that I end up liking it. Like, I wasn't big on Little Nightmares or the idea of it, just looking at the previews and stuff. I was like, what the hell is this? And I actually really like it. So I shouldn't talk shit, but yeah, You're a Horrible Goose just doesn't get my blood pumping. So not sure about that one. And you know what I saw earlier that I didn't. There it is right there. I didn't even. It's funny how I'll go through this list in a video and then I'll go back later and notice that I forgot about stuff. This game is awesome right here. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. If you guys haven't checked this out, and this has been out for, when was this initially released? Doesn't say here. It's not old. It's fairly recent. Pretty sweet game. Martin K. Little Nightmares 1 and 2 is good. Absolutely. Love that, the creepy undertones to it. It's a pretty sweet game. Definitely just talk shit about Nintendo. Well, there's no Nintendo on here, right? That's one thing worth mentioning. They didn't want the fire from Nintendo, that's for sure. Because yeah, there's no Nintendo on here. Just realizing that now. Plenty of PlayStation and Xbox titles, but yeah. Let's jump into something though. Let's go in here, and hopefully this doesn't throw off the entire thing. And if my audio for the game isn't coming through, let me know, because I'm streaming from the computer that I'm actually running this on. Usually I'm going through from like my Xbox, or I'll test mini PCs out and I'm running them through my capture card. So this is the first time I've ever live streamed from the computer that I'm actually playing on. So yeah, I had to manipulate the settings a little bit here. And where the hell am I going? It's right around here, right? T, right up here. Let's go into Shredder's Revenge here, because this will be a good test, because on the last drive I couldn't get it working. So there we go, right there. So if I play this, hopefully it comes through, and you guys are going to see me here for a second while this loads up. And of course I got my windows all messed up here. Why am I losing my cursor? See, this is why I don't like streaming from, the PC that I'm actually playing on. But yeah. Are you guys getting the audio from the game? Just checking with you, because if not, I'll have to mess with the settings. Yes, I love the newer Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle here. This is pretty sweet. And I'm gonna. I don't know what is copyrighted here with audio files, so let's see what this is all about. We're going to chill. Mondo Notion, dude. All good? Sweet. Got something right. After that last live stream, I don't know. Lucky to have this working so well. All right, so let's skip this. I'm just going to mash buttons because I don't remember the controls.
How to juice, bro. Party favors for every foot. Ah! Not so fast, hombres. Ah!
This definitely takes me back. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. I love what this offers. So, let me get out of this one, though. I don't want to spend too much time on one title. I don't feel like this is tough to emulate either. How do I get out of this now? So that's always the problem with going through this way. There we go. So I have to just jump out that way, get back over here. All right, so yeah, that's pretty sweet. I love the vibe to that game. It definitely has that old school feel, but obviously the graphics are super vibrant. And keep in mind, you guys are coming in through OBS today, so it actually looks better in person than it does through here, especially in the live streams on YouTube. I always watch them back, and the graphics and resolution improves like a couple hours after the live stream ends on here, which drives me nuts, but it is what it is. So yeah, so the rumor is though that Arcade 1UP is trying to do another Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cabinet, and they want Shredder's Revenge on there. So that'll be like the addition, because Arcade 1UP loves to beat a dead horse and do more and more stuff. But I would love to see Shredder's Revenge in arcade form. That would be really cool, especially if they put it with like Turtles in Time and stuff like that. I definitely see the value there, but can Can you check if RoboCop is in this library? I didn't see it, but is it just, does it start with RoboCop, or is it like one of those that has a weird, title there? Let's see, alphabetical order. It would be, yeah, I'm not seeing it here. Nope, it would be right around here. I feel like I saw that recently on something, though. Was it on the Kinhank, maybe? It was on something. I don't think Conkers is on here. Toasty Topics, 100%. I couldn't agree more with that one. RoboCop, yeah, it's not here. Yep, it would be right there above Rogue Star Rescue, right? Yep, not here. Yeah. But yeah, Toasty Topics. I think that's awesome, and everybody's been talking about Shredder's Revenge, too, so that's definitely something I'd like to put on. I'd love to figure out how to get it onto one of these Arcade 1-Up cabinets that I have modded, or I have one that I'm working on modding right now. But yeah. All right, so what's another one we could jump into here and test this out? I want to jump into something that's like maybe a little bit more demanding than that, because it definitely doesn't feel like it's would be that challenging to actually play. What about those? Is there Call of Duty in here? We passed some Call of Duties earlier. And anybody play Brotato? I heard a lot of people talking about how that's a pretty sweet game. I don't know how I feel about that one. What's the description on that? Definitely interested to see. Brotato. Where's the? Yeah, there's no description. So anybody play this game? Let me know what it's about, because I'm intrigued to say the least here. But I'm not sure that that's my style of game. I have to ask, did they add some adult games in the drive, if you know what I mean? I don't see anything that looks adult. I don't think so, but maybe there's a surprise in here somewhere. I'm not sure. I don't see anything that looks adult, though. Looking forward to the Golden Axe remake. Absolutely. I've been trying to keep up with the reviews. What is your top recommendation system for most retro games, best quality? So plug and play console, or plug and play game drive, kind of like this one here. So far, I mean, for AAA titles, this one is pretty sweet. I will say that. But if you're looking for, try Cyberpunk, good demanding test. We can do that. Where is that? That would be... I've never played that through PC. And this may, if this doesn't pan out, it's probably my PC. I'll just throw that out there now, but we'll give it a go. See what it does. You guys get a glimpse at OBS there. Again, that's the challenge with diving into things from one PC today. So you probably want to go with, well, somebody said that they were having issues with viruses and malware on the Kinhank 12 terabyte, but that one would be my, what I recommend, just based off of the fact that, it has a little bit of everything. So here you go. Windows firewalls block some features of Cyberpunk on all public and private networks. Do you want to allow? We'll just go with cancel there. So yeah, I would look into that, but be wary of the fact that there may be malware on there. I didn't experience that, but it doesn't mean that other people won't. Well, I'm not going to get too far with this one. Seems fine, other than the fact that I don't know what the hell anything says. There's probably a way that you can go in here and change the language, but damned if I know how to navigate that the way that it is currently. Yeah, not much I can do here at the moment. Alright, so we're going to jump out of that one, because I will say the game seems to be fine, but is there a way out here to... I'm not super familiar with Play Night, but with like Batocera, it's actually very easy to change the language. So it may be one of those situations I'm going to have to look into that with Play Night, because that's the first time I've seen something that's in a different language entirely. So maybe in more, can we... Yeah, I'll have to mess with this, but it did seem to be at least there. I mean, we didn't actually jump into the game, but it did seem to be moving fine. But yeah, I can't navigate something like that. Unfortunately, that's not my language. Plays though, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, seems to be. Usually, I will say, and it's not always the case, but usually if you're going to have issues, you'll have issues right from the bat there. So it seems to be fine, but... Change the file to English within the game folder. All right, I'll have to test that out. Thank you, Arcade Racer. Appreciate that. Sorry, just reading these comments, guys. Derek A, what were you looking for? I will try to point in the right direction. And let's find another title to jump into, though, because that one was obviously a bust, just because of the language. Bum Simulator, anyone? Definitely not. So let's go into... This is the original Modern Warfare. Let's jump in here. I actually loaded this up earlier, and I just left it on the main screen there, so I actually never jumped in and tested it. You can see here, yeah, 26 minutes. I literally just left it on the load screen, though. Let's try this one, because I remember playing this game back in the day. I've never played the remastered version, so it'd be interesting to see how it handles, the remastered, because it's not terribly old. Derek, probably the Kin Hank. There's a couple Kin Hank options. If you just type in Retro Gaming Guy Kin Hank, you can see what I'm talking about. But I'm going to say, a few people mentioned that they did have malware on their drives. Now, I didn't, but I was also testing that out very early on, too, because that hasn't been out for... Well, actually, that one has been out for a while. They sent me that one, though. Full disclosure. So I didn't pay for that one. I didn't order it myself. So it is possible that they sent me, something without viruses and malware, because sending that to somebody that's going to review it would be terrible for them. So just proceed with caution. If you do go with that, make sure you scan it. If you scan it, get rid of anything that's sketchy on there. Make sure it works. If it doesn't, send that shit back. So that's my, my spiel on that. Let's go into, I guess, can we do mission select? Sweet. So we could jump ahead. That's nice. At least just one. Do you wish to continue? Yeah, I don't care. Let's see what this is all about. I'm really not great at these types of games. It's been a while since I used to play stuff like this. Suzuki, thank you. I appreciate that.
Bravo team. The intel on this op comes from our informant in Russia.
Hope this isn't that loud for you guys.
Package aboard a medium freighter, Estonian registration number 52775. There is a small crew and a security detail.
Seems smooth, I will say that.
Rules of engagement, sir. Crew expendable.
I will agree with you there, Arcade Racer, for sure. Windows 11, definitely smarter. Alright, so I just want to pause that just for the audio. But, who did I want to respond to there? Yeah, so, Derek, check out Kin Hank. But there's also, I've reviewed a bunch of drives. If you just type in plug and play Retro Gaming Guy, it should list, everything should come up in the search on YouTube as to what I have reviewed in the past. Biggie, no, Guns, Gore, and Cannoli 1 and 2 are not on here. And that's a bummer. I mean, I have those on actually on this PC, and I have them through Steam. So yeah, I'm a big fan of that franchise, and they've been talking about doing a third one for a while. So I hope that they do. I haven't beaten the second one. It's challenging, but love the vibe of that. It's like that Mafia meets Walking Dead meets Metal Slug. I love it. Yeah, this one seems really loud. I don't know if I can. You know what? I can go over to OBS without. Hopefully without. It's funny how with Play Night, different keys do different things within different games. So before the. Yeah, I don't know how to get the hell out of here now. Can I go down here? Well, turn the volume down, guys, because I'm going to try this out the way it is, because it's not letting me out, and I don't want to throw off the stream here. That's the downside, though, to, again, doing a stream through the PC that you're running the games on. Usually I'm going through a capture card, and I have 2 different setups going on, but, yeah, it's not letting me out of here. There we go.
30 seconds, going dark.
Let me drop you guys down a little bit there. Hopefully that made a little difference. I don't know. All right, yeah. And I'm just going to move this light a little bit. Okay. See how this goes. Missed all of those guys because I was looking at you guys. Where are we going? Smooth. I'll give him that for sure. Definitely smooth. Did I throw that? I think that would work out. Guess I could just run up on him, right? He got him. Cool. Seems smooth, though. I'm looking for, like, glitches or anything like that. But, I mean, it's not the oldest game by any means, or the newest game, but it is remastered, so it's a couple of years. I guess he's got him. Where are we going? I haven't played this game since it came out, so. I think we go down, if I remember correctly. Seems to get funny when I think it's just, I noticed a little lag there, but. I think it's when I'm trying to like push against like the guys next to me. Yeah, I mean it looks good. I'll jump out of this in a second. Yeah, like that guy was coming through the door at the same time as me. There again. That's because I was going past that guy. Well, he said it's clear. I guess we're good. Oh, those are my guys, right?
Ready, sir. Go. Clear left. Move.
All right, so I'm going to jump out of here. Seems good, though. All right, how did we get out of here before? Save and quit, probably. I think you can go out like a regular PC game, if I'm not mistaken. Just quit the game. I just didn't want to do that before. There we go. Should be able to, I would imagine that it closes it right out. Sweet. All right, so it's easy to navigate. Yeah, it definitely seemed there is a lag on our end. How is the game? Oh, well, all right, that's weird. It could just be an OBS thing then, because I definitely didn't feel like there was a lag, except for when I was like going through doors with people. But I'll have to check it back. I do think that sometimes streaming here on YouTube, it does look that way. So it could be that. It's 292 games. Did I say three? I think I said 392 before, but yeah, 292 is I think I misquoted that one before. That's why this isn't the official review video. I can make mistakes on this one. Yeah, 292. They take up a lot of space, though, so it's 12 terabytes. You got to think AAA titles take up a massive amount of space compared to that of, like, a retro collection, whereas, like, Super Nintendo, for example, you can get every game ever made for Super Nintendo, and it wouldn't even come close to being the size of, one modern-day title. So, yeah, I definitely got to check the lag on your guys' end, though. It could be one of those situations like the resolution where everything looks really crappy here for you guys as I do these live, and then like 2 hours later, everything comes together on YouTube. I've been noticing that week after week lately. Drives me a little crazy, but I'm also going to be upgrading all of my stuff here on the channel. I have a bunch of new stuff coming in, new equipment, and new camera for the majority of videos that I can now use as a webcam too. So hopefully be able to kick everything up considerably in terms of quality. That's the goal in the end here. USB drive, you could fit the entire Nintendo collection. Absolutely. And thank you, Suzuki. I really appreciate that. So you're giving away 10 memberships. Sweet. And I do have to, I do want to do more of the exclusive stuff here too. So really appreciate you doing that. That's really kind of you. Extend that over to everybody. So yeah, I'm going to be doing, and usually what I do is like more behind the scenes stuff. Like I'll jump in, like this is a behind the scenes kind of live stream, because I'm doing a formal video on this where I'll comb through everything title by title and test out a bunch of games, much more detailed than what I'm doing right now. And I'll be, kind of updating you guys on things going on behind the scenes, stuff like that. And the last week or so, I've been kind of behind on everything, so I'll be getting back to all of that. But yeah, I just wanted to jump in here and kind of take you guys on a tour of this before I do the official video and all that good stuff. So I'll be putting that out probably tomorrow, because I got a little bit more. I want to jump into a few more of these, but I'm going to do it outside of the live just because I'm obviously in the corner here. So give you guys the sneak peek though. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy with this as long as there's no malware and viruses and the games actually work and they're not doing any of that shady stuff where they pad the numbers and they say, we're giving you all these games, but there's all these duplicates, and that's not the case here with Play Night. So it is a pretty sweet setup. Just got to obviously make sure that you scan this if you do end up picking it up, because yeah, not everybody will get the exact version that I get. These aren't made, in bulk at the same time. They could vary, version to version and whatnot. So yeah, special thanks to Suzuki for handing out those memberships to everybody. Really appreciate that. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you guys so much. Looking at your videos, it's 54 East Coast. Yes, I'm on the East Coast. Yep, I'm in Connecticut. Yep. 54 degrees. Oh yeah, you guys can see the bottom there. 54 degrees. Yep, it is. It's warming up actually. It was freezing the other day. So in New York, nice. Yep, very comparable there. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks again to Suzuki there. Thank you guys so much for the support on here as always. Really appreciate you guys. And Super Console X had a crap load of duplicates. It's bad. Like, yeah, what did I just do a review on? The Pandora Box arcade console. That had a ton of duplicates. Like, I think it was averaging about 5 for every title, which is insane. And not every title had them, but the majority did. and some had way more than 5 too. So that's why it said that the average was like 5 duplicates. So I forget what they advertised on there. I want to say it was like 26,000. I could be totally wrong. It was like 26,800 or 28,600, something like that. And I said in the video, basically divide that by 5, and that's the closer to your true count. So it sucks because they're basically preying on people that I think we're probably just buying it as like an entry level setup. And when we're jumping into something entry level, at least I can speak for myself. When I was getting into emulation, I had no idea what I was looking for. I had no idea what would be waiting for me on any of these things. So yeah, it's sketchy when they do that because they're just trying to make an attractive listing at the end of the day. So they're doing it by not having to actually give you those games. They're just also be careful on those links, RGG. Absolutely. Yeah, you have to always, like, literally everything these days. So I'm really careful because I get a lot of emails every day. People want me to review different products, and I turn down so many people now because you have to verify who people are, where they're coming from. Now that luckily, there's a larger audience on my channel, you think more about stuff than you did, when it was just like 6 people and me, in a review video. So yeah, I'm trying to be really thorough with stuff. That's why I scan the shit out of these drives now. But even that, it's like, okay, so they could send me a good drive and all of you guys the sketchy ones. So you just have to kind of cover all the bases, I suppose. But Alfred, that sounds good right about now. Definitely sounds good. Have you reviewed handhelds like Myo Mini? I have. I've done a lot of Myo Mini reviews, actually. I think there was actually a couple different versions because they upgraded the software on there. So I have at least 2 reviews on that because they went to like version 2. And I think they started bundling it with Onion OS, which they didn't initially release with. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the one. That's the downside. I actually, yesterday, passed 1,800 videos on here, which is insane. A lot of which are shorts, though. I'm not doing full form content all the time. But 1,800 plus videos now. A lot of times the handhelds blend together for me. Myo Mini, though, I do remember that one a little bit more thoroughly because it's one of my favorites. It's more compact. It's got the big prominent screen on there, though. So Pennsylvania, nice. What part of Pennsylvania? I used to live in Pennsylvania. And Providence, Rhode Island, nice. Fairly local to me. That's good. What's a good retro drive? This one's good for, well, this isn't retro, but this one's pretty sweet for AAA titles. Retro drives. Tough because they all blend together for me too on the spot. Let's see. There's some really good ones. There's some 3-in-1s that have Play Night, so you'll get some AAA titles along with RetroBat and Launchbox. I just reviewed one like 2 weeks ago. So if you go on my channel and you look at the recent ones, that's probably the one I would recommend. And unfortunately, a lot of these end up disappearing after 6, 7, 8 months. So a lot of the stuff that I reviewed like over a year ago, you're not going to be able to find anymore. And they also tend to upgrade quite often. So, past versions that are a year old, for example, they've upgraded to something else. So like even this drive that we're reviewing tonight or combing through tonight, tomorrow will be like the official review. But even this, I think, is the next version of what I reviewed only, 2-3 weeks ago. So they advance very quickly. So I wouldn't recommend going back too far. I play Rotato, but it's not as fun as Vampire Survivors. That's what I've heard. Vampire Survivors is really good. I think I've played a few minutes of it, but I haven't gotten a chance to really sit down and dive into it. Is the trim UI good? I love it. I really do. It was actually one of those handhelds that I didn't think much of just, initially looking at it. I figured this is going to be a dud because there's so many handhelds that come out with like new brands or whatever that just aren't, they're not Ambernick. They're not, even Powkitty has some pretty solid options. And it ended up being really awesome. It had great performance on there, especially for the more demanding stuff. You're not going to get into like PS2 or GameCube on there, but for what you can get into, it's really good. And I do have a review video on that too. So at the end of the day, I think it also really matters who you get it from, because stuff like that, you can get it on Amazon from, random sellers. You can get it on eBay, probably really inexpensively, but you don't know what's coming on there because that's where it can differ quite a bit. So finding a reliable source is a challenge. And I try to deal with, there's this seller that I buy most of my stuff from, and I link through my listings to that individual, seller. So don't ask me the name because I'm really bad with names. Mech DIY, I think, hopefully. But it's in the listing for the Trim UI review, or in the video rather. RGG, I'm always looking for the latest retro drive. Have been out of it a few months. Crypto taking over my life. Last time I loaded up my retro drive back. Bodicera. You know what? Bodicera's had a lot of updates in the last few months, though. So you're not as far behind as you probably think you are, because I think they just put out 39 recently. But I'm the same way, and I'm really hesitant to update Bodicera because going back probably 2 years now, every time I would update, I'd have to fix everything all over again, and it would take me a while to get everything up and running, getting it smooth and perfect, getting all my settings right with the emulators, and then I'd update and it would just fuck everything up, and I hate that. So I'm hesitant with updating. And then I recently updated one of my drives and wasn't thinking that, of course, now there's this big uproar over Yuzu. So now none of my Switch emulation works, which I will say this: every Switch emulated game that I had, I actually have the actual copy of too. So not just to cover my ass, that is the truth. I always put on stuff that I actually had copies of. Not because I'm trying to be responsible, just how it kind of panned out. Mostly hoping one day I'll see someone come out with a Bodicera capable external drive off the shelf with working PS4, PS5 emulation. Well, someday probably. Probably a 20 terabyte drive. There you go. That's what I was thinking too. It would be massive, yeah. Bust out your phone and translate it. Yeah, 37 was a really stable one. I like that a lot. I haven't done anything with 39. I have it on one of these, but I've just kind of tested out a couple collections. I haven't really jumped in there, but I've heard some people complaining about different things. Haven't really, gone into it enough to know exactly what's on. There we go. Version 39 screwed up most of the retro game set. See, yeah, that's what drives me nuts. Yeah, audio on there. They struggle with the audio, right? I've had that issue with a lot of past versions. And then even just finding the audio connections and stuff, initially, it was such a pain in the ass back in the day. And then there was one version, I forget which one it was recently, where it felt like it went back to that. And I hated that. Yeah, PS4 emulations, young, yep, for sure. And Suzuki, let me ask you, crypto, what are you into these days? Just curious, because I've actually been out of crypto now for a little while, but I have a pretty extensive past with crypto. I've just been laying low for about 2 years now. Luckily, I got out when things were starting to go down, and just been kind of observing from the sidelines for a while. Have you thought about making and offering TMNT games for sale? Toasty topics. Me? No. Yeah, just with the platform here on YouTube and stuff, no, not at all. I don't want to be involved in any of that stuff. It's just too risky, and Nintendo's got a hair across their ass with so much stuff now. Yeah, I wouldn't touch it. Okay, all right. Yeah, I used to be in Mainline outside Philly. You guys think that crypto is going to go back again? So I was actually trying to get somebody on the channel recently who's into gaming and crypto, but things just kind of fell through, and he's been on a lot of reality TV lately. So I was actually going to sit down, and that was going to be a question that I had for him, but I believe so. I think everything comes back around. I think that we just kind of got derailed with everything. Crypto went from nobody really knew what it was for a while to 2020, it became this really popular thing. All these celebrities were tweeting about it, and I think it just brought so many people into it that it just got fucked up. And it's unfortunate because I got into it fairly early. I mean, not as early as these billionaires out there that were buying Bitcoin for 25 cents, but I got into it before my daughter was born. She's going to be 5, so I made a lot of money with crypto, and I'll be honest, I lost a lot of money with crypto too. When everything started to tank, I mean, everybody did that. Anybody that was holding back when things were just spiking up and down like crazy, you were along for a wild ride. And I ended up having another child, and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna take this ride right now. So I got out, and yeah, I've been peeking at it, watching how it moves. But yeah, I don't know. It's a tough thing to follow for sure. If the game drive has PC games included, the virus warning could be false positive with the cracks. I think that's a big part of it, to be honest. And I've had people that are really familiar with all that stuff comb through it, and a lot of people. And again, the issue is that you're getting different drives at different times, and I don't believe that it's this, you know. You got to think that emulation in general is not going to be this like uniform operation where, you know, it's like an Xbox game release or a PlayStation 5 game release where everything's fine tuned and they have this really detailed setup where they're mass producing everything the exact same way. I think this stuff is just kind of, hey, we're running low on inventory. Let's scan a bunch of, you know, or let's duplicate a bunch of these, or let's go in and make a bunch more. And I don't think that you have that consistency. So different people are going to test it. They're going to get different results. They're going to end up with a lot of different stuff on there. So it's hard to find out exactly what you're getting. Like even I reviewed this today. It doesn't mean that somebody that watches the video 3 weeks from now is getting exactly the same thing that I got. There may be the same titles, but the files might be different. There may be variations that, you know, are in play here. So it's one of those things. It's tough. Emulation in general is just really tough to nail down. I noticed that the members here, you guys, your icons changed, so it must be 1 month because it changes after like different increments in time. So that's cool to see the teal Game Boy up there for Broke Daddy Gamer, and Shani's titty warts, like it, Shani. That's awesome. And yeah, so the teal Game Boy is actually the first Game Boy color that I had, the teal one. Get Chris Coolmont to drop down his prices. That's beyond my control. That's beyond my control there. For sure, Toasty Topics, for sure. I tried going to your Amazon affiliate link a few days ago, and all I saw were your videos. I couldn't actually see your links for the products. Did you go to the Amazon storefront, or just because if you click the Amazon links, like each listing, like let me see if this video right here has it, because I linked to this one. This one's not an Amazon link though. So I always have like the first link will be direct to the product that I'm reviewing. The second one will be to my Amazon storefront, and you'll see the videos. If you just go through the videos, there should be a product link somewhere in there. Actually, I can jump through it right now. I'm not sure which one you went through. If you go to the storefront though, it'll pull up like videos for each of the things on there. And let me see, hopefully this doesn't autoplay. Of course it does. Yeah, right under the video there should be tagged products. So it'll list like 2 or 3, depending on how many variations there are of the product or listings. Like I just opened up the first controller one that I reviewed. So I assume that's what you were going through. What's good? What is good? One that has everything up to 360 and PS3. 360 is not on anything, in my experience anyways. So, PS3, there's a 3-in-1 out there, and I'm not sure if it's Kinhang. I don't think it is, but it's a 3-in-1. It's got RetroBat, it's got Launchbox, and I reviewed it like 2 weeks ago, and it's also got Launchbox, I said that. Play Night, which is what this drive that I'm showing you guys today had on there. So that is, let's see. Sorry, I was reading other comments. That's probably your best bet. It's got a great PS3 selection on there, and it's like 2 weeks ago that I reviewed that. AW just showed the Punk Jack Perry fight. Check it out. Oh, I'm not the least bit surprised that Punk started the entire thing. I'll have to check that out though. Did they post it? What was today? Wednesday night? Did they show it on TV or did they put it on like YouTube? I will definitely check that out though. Yeah, so I'm not a fan of CM Punk, never was, but I will say this. I like what he's doing currently. I've been watching a little bit more of WWE just because WrestleMania was on. I mean, he's a shit starter. He always has been. He's good on the mic. I like his promos, but when he gets in the ring, you lose me. I never got the hype for him. So, and then like the antics outside, and just never been a big fan. I liked him back when he first came out. I remember when he first came to WWE when I was, a teenager, and he was good. He had like the ECW relaunch or rebrand or whatever. He was good. I liked him then. But yeah, his in-ring style, never been my thing. Crypto conversation too long. The short version, better get into XRP, Solana, quick. All right. You don't have a crypto channel, do you? If you do, I'll be watching. XRP and Solana. I'm familiar with XRP, and I've heard about Solana. I believe I've checked the charts on that too, if I'm not mistaken. But I will look into those for sure. So let's see. Yeah, I wasn't even so big into Bitcoin. I had a little Bitcoin, but mostly Ethereum, Cardano, and then I messed around with like other ones, but those were the ones that I really believed in. Yeah, and then I cashed out and got the hell out for a while. But I'm circling. I'm circling for sure. On TV is where everywhere else, man, it's good. Well, Heyman's just phenomenal with that. That's the only thing that I mean to go back to and watch some of the other inductions and stuff. But yeah, I saw Paul Heyman's. That's the only one I've seen so far. But yeah, absolutely phenomenal. First saw CM Punk on a live Halloween episode of Ghost Hunters and hated him ever since. He's a hateable guy. I mean, I'm a big UFC fan too, and like his whole UFC push and stuff, it was just cringy. Vince ruined ECW. That version sucked. It certainly did. The best thing about it was that they put it in Hammerstein's ballroom in New York City. That's about it. The venue was right. Time for me to go to bed. Same. I got to get going too, but I said we were wrapping this up a while ago. Still holding on to my XRP. Awesome. Yeah, I get stuck talking to you guys. You guys bring me in with the conversation, so it's a good thing though. I love it. Heyman induction was great, but the entire Hall of Fame went entirely too long. It always does though. I feel like it was. I can't fairly say this because I didn't. Hey Al, how's it going? I didn't fully watch it, but I feel like it went. I saw the duration at least on Peacock. I feel like it went shorter than it usually does. There was one year it was like 6 hours long. It's like brutal. Let's see. Bray tribute was nice. Did you see the Bray documentary? That was really good. Appreciate you. I love the channel too, but I love the channel because I get to interact with you guys. It's not the content for me. It's the interactions, the vibe here, the community that we've kind of grown here. That's the win for me. What are you using to scan these drives? So I'm blanking on the name here, but where is it? Total AV is what I'm using on this one, but I actually connected to two additional computers, and I forget what I use over there, but I try to hit it with different things, and I'm blanking on the name of the other two because I have my laptop. I'm actually using my laptop right now, but then I have another high-end mini gaming PC that I have two other softwares on, so these live streams are the best. Thanks so much, Broke Daddy Gamer. Appreciate that. I love doing them. And then this Friday, I was going to do a promo actually of what I'm giving away this week, and I'll end up putting that out tomorrow. So I might have a double video tomorrow, the release of announcing what I'll have on the giveaway for Friday night. But I also have a Gamer Looks at 40, who's this guy Bill, who has this podcast, and he's got a lot of great content on retro gaming. So he's going to come on. We're going to chat. We're going to talk about retro gaming. We're going to talk about kind of, you guys know the deal, whatever pops up. So looking forward to that. That's going to be good. And then next week, not to overshadow this week because I'm super excited, but next week we have Wrestling with Gaming coming on. And I love the dude behind that channel. I've been a massive fan for years, and he's back on YouTube now because he took about 2 years off. He's back, and he's got some amazing documentary-style videos. So, well, thank you. I'm glad that you joined for the live stream there. I know some people are in a ad right now, but Neo X Bomb, appreciate you joining. Yeah, I'm switching it up now. I'm doing these like kind of pop-up live streams because my schedule is crazy. I can commit to the Fridays every single week, but everything else is it's a challenge for me to commit to a time because I have young children and busy schedule with that. So yeah, I'm always kind of on the go. I never know exactly when I'm going to be free or when somebody's going to run down here and pull on my leg and tell me to get going, doing something. So your WrestleMania arcade cabinet looking good. Thank you so much. Yeah, it does. I had to change some things about it that kind of bummed me out. The bezel art, I just couldn't get it to work everywhere. Like it was just a tighter fit than I was hoping for, which is it's not Escape Pod's issue at all. But I changed the bottom of that. I don't think anybody's really going to notice. I noticed because I put it together. But I'm doing some stuff with the front panel, so I'm still working on it, and I have some custom stuff being made for the front panel. I got this bright idea to spend more money. So, yeah, doing that. And it's going to be pretty sweet, though. I'm basically doing this 3D printed LED light. That's the old school WWF logo. So that's going to mount on the front, and it's going to get wired through to the inside of where I'll have the mini PC. So every time the mini PC powers on, this big LED light will light up the whole front of it. And it's backlit too, so it has that nice sort of glowing effect. So I'm really looking forward to putting all that together. Haven't modded. The reason it's not turned on, and I think you guys are really zoomed in on me right now, but the reason that I haven't done any videos on it is because it's not done yet. There's nothing modded internally. I've just changed the graphics and the buttons, but yeah, it won't even power on right now because I've just disconnected everything within. So Suzuki, mainly on the Discord server. For sure, yeah. Send me the link. Actually, if you go through not to make you jump through hoops, but if you go through my contact page on my website, it'll get me, you'll get to me directly, because if you comment or do anything on here, sometimes it goes to my phone and I get the notification, sometimes it doesn't, so it's just not super reliable. So I will miss tomorrow, unfortunately. Is it tomorrow? You'll miss Friday this week. We're back to Fridays. Yeah, today's Wednesday, right? Still Wednesday, yeah. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to let you go because otherwise I'll stay here and I'll talk your ear off all night. So really enjoyed the vibe here as always, though. Thank you guys so much for joining, and great turnout for a pop-up live. So lots of fun, but I'm going to jump into this a little bit more, complete that video, and I'll probably have this out tomorrow night. So, we'll have the in-depth review, but so far, spoiler alert, it is pretty sweet. Nice setup and well put together. So, all right, guys, I'm going to let you guys go. Have a great night, and I'll see you back with the review video tomorrow. Then Friday night, I'll be on here with the live stream again, and I'll have A Gamer Looks at 40 on, Bill over there. So thank you guys so much. Really appreciate you. I will see you guys